Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Jed7780 here with a What Grinds My Gears. I could not wait any longer. I had to jump on. I have to talk. This is incredible. It is an awesome day. Let's get right to it, baby. Woo! Yo, I had to get that intro out of the way because I knew I'll start talking, I'll start showing stuff, and I'll forget to do my intro. What's up, everybody? When to go? How you doing, Andrew Wilkins? Sam Ash, what's up? How's everybody doing? I just want to make sure I got my display rigmarole working here. We're gonna do a little Cerny-ness. We're gonna have some demonstrations, man. Got some stuff to talk about because today was the day. Let me just double check this, make sure my this media, hold the phone. I just want to make sure this thing's working here. I got too excited and I sent it up. Hold the phone. And now, is this it? Ah, not that one. There it is. Is that it? Where is my thing? Oh man, it's so small. Hold on. Damn. There it is. I just gotta make sure I'm capturing the right thing. Sorry for technical difficulties. There you go. And there I go. Just wanted to make sure I had that thing good. And I noticed the last time I covered up my ooh, maybe I'll do that. And I'll just have this little small for everybody. So let me do a little bit of display. Because I noticed that the desktop was a little small when I was looking at some stuff there. We'll do a video. I can make it smaller. But anyway, that's what she said. Oh my God, when to go. Dropping the jokes. Yo. Oh man, we'll talk about the reviews. So today, I did a show yesterday. Shout out to all the new subscribers. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. And I hit over 1,100 followers on Twitter. Thank you again. That thing's going crazy. I think it was because of the poll. Smooth dropped the poll down saying about people capping for PlayStation and making fun of Xbox. But you want to know what? That's what I do because they pissed off the wrong Xbox fan. And PlayStation is doing the goods. And I'm going to demonstrate that and point out the weaknesses of Xbox until Xbox starts growing a set, and delivering the goods. Because what they have done with this launch has been a travesty. And you know what? It's not just my opinion. It is actually the public's opinion. It is the reviewers' opinion, the professional game journalists, if you want to call them, the influencers on YouTube. You saw all those reviews today, and if you missed it, go check my video out from yesterday. We recap it. I show the biggest thing. It's a great piece of hardware, capable, just like the X was, the One X, but lacking games. And as I said last night on Salty's podcast, like, it is eerie and scary how you can match up the One X launch with the Series X launch, and the same thing, delays, missed games, and it's horrible. And we're going to do some comparisons, of course, because that's what I do, because that's what a consumer does. Weigh the positives, the benefits, and see what's the best thing to get. And anyway, we got the reviews dropped today. PlayStation 5 console reviews, and it looks like there's still more embargoes. There's another one, I think, on the 11th that they have the drop. But yeah, I saw that the game night. Shout out to the game night. What's up, Buck Roger? Yo, man, going strong. Yo, what's up, Buck Roger? How you doing, man? Yeah. So yes, the PlayStation reviews dropped. There's another embargo supposedly, and actually, from what I was reading and doing, it looks like the consensus is that it was about the hardware, some of the UI, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Some even reviewed that, I think, on the PlayStation 4. Astrobot, and I think that was it. That was about all, and backwards compatibility. They ran some games on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 games, and basically that was about it. And the first video that I watched, just to kind of say I woke up and stuff like that, oh my goodness, I can't read this stuff. I'll get triggered about some of these people thinking Xbox is going to be a console leader. Man, that ship has sailed, dude. Grow the hell up. You got to have goddamn games to sell a console. I can't look at Twitter while I'm on this thing yet because I'll go off on a huge tirade because it's the blindness of some of these people that I just don't get. I'm just like, like what is it? Like I understand you're a fan, but if you are a fan, you would admit the weaknesses and you can't think success. Like if the Giants shit, like the Giants suck. The New York Giants suck. All right? I'm not thinking that they're going to pull out a W and win and go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. Like they're bad. Get better, and I will watch your stuff. I would cheer you on, but you suck, and you have been sucking. So get better. That's what a fan would say. Go listen to any sports radio after their local team loses. They're more critical. They're angrier at the team than the team that beat them. Dude, you lose a division game or something like that, you go sports radio, people not like, yo, we tried. They get yelled off the radio by the goddamn host. They're like, shut up. Like, what's wrong with you? We suck. So I don't know if people do that because of their followers or because of what they do. But you know what? You want to live in that power your dreams world and think that Xbox is going to do something right now? Dude, they might have potential. You might go gray by the time they start showing goddamn stuff. All right? There's no W's. And there's no one game that's going to fix Xbox. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, Wentz is playing like shit. Eagles fans will tell you that. Uh-huh. That doesn't mean that, oh my God, they're Giants fans. That doesn't mean that, oh my God, they're, you know what I mean? That they can't like. Seriously, dude. But anyway, it's reality, okay? And if you're a gamer, you go where the games are. You don't sit there and go, I hope they come out with a game 2 years from now that I might like. Okay, good job. Like, sit there and wait. Fine. I'm not losing any sleep over it because I'm be playing goddamn games. And I'm going to knock you for just sitting there staring at a wall, goddamn it. But anyway. Yeah, Falconeer. I guess. Enjoy, dude. I saw that game night. He says, did you see the tweet from J-Dub? There was a guy who asked the official Xbox account what game to play on launch, and they told him to buy Game Pass. Dude. Yeah, ain't that the truth? I'm surprised they didn't tell him to go play on a goddamn phone. Yo, what's up, Merc? Representing Twitch. He's like my 1 or 2 Twitch viewers over there. I keep throwing my stuff on Twitch, man. You never know. Keep throwing it over there. But thank you, Merc. Shout out to Merc. 305. He's going to play Celeste. And I'm telling you this, guys, right now. Grinders, if Merc 305 plays Celeste, we're going to crash his stream and watch him play this thing. We've been trying to get him to play Celeste. Now that it's in Game Pass, we want Merc 305 to play. He loves his shooters. He loves his Gears. He loves his Call of Duty. I want to see him play Celeste. I want to see him struggle. I want to see Merc do all that platform and artsy. Oh, man. Yes, Merc, please. We got to see the Celeste stream. No excuses. It's in Game Pass. Goddamn, Phil Spencer demands it. So anyway, let's go. All right, let's go, Merc. You share that link out. I'll be ready. So back to the reviews, man. PlayStation 5 drops. So just to let you know my day, what I checked first. The first thing I saw was Digital Foundry. And I think after today, they got their PlayStation. We knew that they were bought out by Xbox. Xbox did buy them some bananas and cereal and took them out to dinner and Phil Nest them when they got to play with the magnets and stuff. And we're like, oh no, Digital Foundry's bought by Xbox. Oh no. Well, it's glad to know that, once they got their PlayStations, they feel better now and they're back to Pony Foundry. Brrr. Nah, I don't know. Anyway, Digital Foundry did their backwards compatibility video, and that's what I watched first. So, and one of the things that they were talking about is that they basically just ran a whole bunch of old games backwards compatibility on the PlayStation. You remember that was the biggest question mark on PlayStation because back when Cerny put us all to sleep, telling us about backwards compatibility, we're testing 100 games, and we would like to have them before launch. Good night. Yeah, Cerny goes. Say, oh, dollar bill Phil. Dollar bill Phil. Dollar bill Phil. So, with that, I wanted to go. So, they cover the backwards compatibility of PlayStation. just to preface everything, the PlayStation reviews, PlayStation 5, have been big. They've been positive. They've been very, very strong. And everybody is basically saying, well, don't let me tell you, the big step into next generation. A very huge dichotomy between what we saw yesterday and what we saw today between the two brands. One believes in generations, one believes in playing your old games. And actually, as somebody stated, yo, what's up, Salty? Somebody stated Austin Evans, the dude that loved his Xbox, came out and said this is an Xbox 1.5. Then he follows it up saying that's not bad. No, that's bad. You don't want to spend $500 for an Xbox 1.5. You want to spend $500 for next generation. And one thing that I wanted to do is the first sentence here, because I wanted to just revisit. We always use history to judge what we do, right? To see what I'll predict the future, right? It was very interesting because after the Xbox show, right? The Xbox May show, right? It was very depressing that weekend when they didn't show gameplay of Assassin's Creed. They really didn't show anything during that first kind of gameplay of Series X. After talking about 12 teraflops of Phil Ness, basically they're like, yo, here's the games, right? We're going to show gameplay. And then Aaron Greenberg had to come out in a Zori costume and apologize that the gameplay, oh yeah, we promised gameplay, but it wasn't there. That weekend, it was very depressing. Like, oh, these guys, Murphy's Law, what the hell is Murray's Law? The rate of returns is going to be bad. Next gen is not going to be that much. It's going to be very incremental upgrades. I'm not really excited for next gen. I remember it the whole weekend. Like, the gamers were down because of what the lack of effectiveness that was shown during that first showcase. Yes, that's right. Hit that like button. Thank you. And hit that subscribe button if you're new here. I see some new names, everybody. Hit that subscribe button. You're going to be getting a lot of grinds my gears because I'm coming, man. I got my thing coming on Thursday, baby. Woo! Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get that headset too, man. Trying to get that headset. Thank you, J-Cat. Phil's wife called him 2-inch Phil. Oh, shit, Mog. Damn. Mog going in. Oh, man. Dollar Bill Phil. Dollar Bill Phil. Here he comes. But anyway, back to what I was saying about May. They were very upset. Then came the showcase from Epic that showed the engine running on a PlayStation 5. And everybody's like, oh, that's next gen. People complained like, that's not a real game. Haters gonna hate. But it showed the potential of next gen. It showed us something that we didn't see from the Xbox showcase of gameplay. Assassin's Creed looked like Assassin's Creed. They didn't even show enough of it. Now, I looked at this review, and that's why one of these reviews stood out. And I encourage everybody to go read their own reviews. I'm just going to give my general impressions about what I've seen and my thoughts on it. So yeah, this sentence really struck me because when they wrote this review, it said, for most of the year, I wasn't excited at all for the new consoles. That's why I'm surprised that I love the PlayStation 5 so much already. And they thought that they weren't going to see this graphical leap and shake up. It's the same exact stuff that people felt after that Xbox show and the lack of gameplay. But the PlayStation 5 feels so exciting. Now, that's to counter what Polygon stated, where they go, oh, the Xbox One X the Series X is boring. But that's a good thing. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. It's boring, but boring is fun. Some shit like that, dude. Whatever. You know what? I just say let those people rot that think that they're gonna think. Enjoy. You're gonna be a depressed gamer. That's all I say. You're a depressed gamer. And one of the things that we spoke about, and I have it in my hands. In my hands, I got it, and I tell you it's true. But I don't feel the haptics and all that other stuff. But I'll tell you it's true. The controller. The general motif with all the reviews is that the controller makes you feel in next gen, and they weren't allowed to speak about, none of the reviews were able to speak about how the controller works in other games besides Astrobot and Spider-Man. They really were not really talking about how it works in NBA 2K, the 2K21, and Call of Duty and stuff like that. They weren't allowed to speak about how it works there, but the controller. And I'm telling you, if you have not picked up your controller, I just got another order coming from GameStop. Another control's coming. I got another one coming. The controller, these bumpers, the controller feels great, and I can't imagine how it's gonna feel with the resistive triggers and the haptics with the immersion and having that. And also another surprise that a lot of people said in the reviews was that the microphone is really clear and the speaker is actually pretty damn good. Like, it is a legit kind of communication device that you can use. It doesn't sound like a Connect yelling across the room, picking up your dog's bark, and all the reverb in your room to say Xbox on, or hey, what's up, Xbox, record that, and a speaker from across the room. Like, it sounds very clear. And one of the things they're saying is, like, the Astrobot, we've heard that, I already went through that, but the Miles Morales and Spider-Man, my God, let's run some gameplay. Let's run some friggin' gameplay. My goodness. This is the Pro version, right? This is the PlayStation 4. Beautiful game. And sorry if I have the chat hiding. I'm going to put this down here, so I'll make it just a little bit smaller here and bring it up. I don't want to hide all the chat there. Yeah, I figure out a better setup here. But yeah, I don't want to make it big enough, but when I do the text, I want you to see. But yeah, dudes, this is like... So a lot of reflectiveness, a lot of the stuff like that. But I'm going to take it to some of the things that I wanted to point out. Look at this. There's the money shot. Like, this is high fidelity mode, 4K with ray tracing. They point out the reflections here and the draw distances and the reflections on everything. This is crazy. This is crazy with the haptic feedbacks and stuff like that. Like, this is what you need. Yes, you want to call it a cross-gen game or whatever the hell you want, but look, it's showing the capabilities of the machine. And I stated this before. The difference is that now when other developers see this stuff, they think about, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Look at the reflections in the car. Look at the stuff that's going on. And they're doing this in 4K mode. And, look at this stuff. This is friggin' insane. Now it's loaded. Man. Look at this. This is insane. It looks awesome. And this is the stuff that you want to eat. This is the stuff that you want to see. Like when you get your console, you spend $500, you want to have a game to show off the capabilities of the machine, right? That's what you want to do. And I'm going to show you one of the things that it has that load time thing. And again, I'm showing it in HD. I'm not doing a 4K, but where's that from the loading screen? Here it is. Ready? So here's the dash. Boot it up, which I'm really liking the UI. I'm really like UI. Like, here's the game, boot up. 4 seconds and 39 seconds to the main menu. And then you hit it, load up, save, continue. So for people going, oh, the SSD. Yeah. That's a game that's made for the SSD. 1 second from game into menu. All right. So we'll get into that whole load time thing. But yeah, this is a game that's built for the SSD, and that's pretty crazy. But one of the things I wanted to show that really stood out in the review was when they did it compared to... they even said the NPCs look damn good too. And they're talking about, like, how the character models look. Let's see, it's a little loading here. Oh, damn, zoom in. Like, the difference of the... it's not a bad looking game on the Pro, but they're saying with the hair is totally, like, the strands and stuff, the differences that you see. And this is what you want to see in a console. Like, this is what you want to see. Like, at the detail at this level, but then also when it pulls back and you're playing the game, you got that as well, right? So one of the things that struck me is this one. This picture right here. Let me see if I can load it in a little sharper. Because I just streamed to it. Let's see. I'll have it load in. Yeah, it's rolling at 4. Let's do 1080p 60. Let's see if that works. All right, it's this one. I'm going to pause it when it comes on. And you'll see it here. Yeah, first off here was showing the amount of density of the characters and the stuff that's going on. Like, there's characters down here and stuff like that. And they show you compared to the PlayStation 4 Pro. because I thought the Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 Pro looked awesome. So yeah, like your reflections, and then this the next one here. But so this was reviewed 80, I think 85, 86 Metacritic, 85 Metacritic, 83 or 85. Yeah, this is it. Oh my god! After I did that, jeez, you spaz me, freaking spaz. Did I miss? Did I lose that? Here it is. Here it is. This, not this one. It was this one that I liked. I hit the wrong button. Here it is. Yo, look at this. I know it's snowing and stuff like that, but just look at the stuff going on at the street. Like, it is freaking crazy. Like the buildings, even the buildings, and they said the textures here and the textures here, like the detail of the roof. And yeah, you got snow, which is even like it's just crazy how they found the same spot. And you know, even the building has like, yeah, it doesn't. It looks like it has. Well, they have snow and stuff on them. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has the fire escapes here compared to this one, but just the distance and stuff, like the details in the distance, like it's just this is the kind of stuff you want to see. You know, you don't need to zoom in 400% to say, hey, look, it's sharper, and this is a new game. It's a new game. New abilities, new character, new story, new voice acting. They said it's about 8 hours, 10 hours. That's the DLC, 8 to 10 hours, and then another 10 hours in side missions and stuff like that. So they're saying like 20 something hours for this game. Perfect for a launch. Rise wasn't no 20 hours, I'll tell you that. But it was a showpiece. It was something I wanted to play, and this is what happens at launches. You know that? Like, that's what happens. But Spider-Man reviewed great. No complaints. A lot of, like they just said, it's an incredible game. And they didn't do the Spider-Man comparison with the remastered version of the other Spider-Man. But they showed a lot of the ray tracing, and they were talking about the ray tracing. Now, there is a performance mode where it will use it won't do the ray tracing it won't do the ray tracing like we've seen. It'll do like the ray tracing that you saw in the other Spider-Man, where it does like this one where it just does like mapping inside of it, and that will give it the higher frame rates for it. But yeah, that's the performance mode in it, and I encourage everybody to go watch the video. Like it really was impressive in there. And I know GameSpot was rough, man. I think they was sitting on an Xbox One, like burning their ass or something like that, a Series X or some shit, because see, this is what it looks like without ray tracing. I think. Oh no, that's with ray tracing. They'll show you without ray tracing where they take it off. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, it has performance mode and it has fidelity mode. The resolution, I think, stays. That's about saying. It's really just the ray tracing that they turn down and stuff like that. But man, hey, I'm piped, man. I'm ready to play this. I am ready to play, dude. Give me some more Spider-Man. That Spider-Man game was awesome. I beat it 3 times. I'm probably gonna go through it again. Yeah. But anyway, I encourage everybody to look at the reviews. Spider-Man's awesome. Dude, this is what you want to see. You want to see a visual next-gen difference and things that stand out and have that kind of game. Perfect launch game for it. It is what it is. Good development. New story. New characters. Let's go. Yeah, edgy boy. Anyway. So we had the coverage of the Spider-Man. And then we saw the thing about the Astrobot as well, and with Astro's Playroom and things like that. But I'm telling you, and the other thing is that the fidelity mode is 30 frames with ray tracing at 4K, and then the 60 frames per second experience turns down turns down the ray tracing, turns off the ray tracing in that one. And so the other thing that became like another cool aspect of it was the heating thing. They said that the heat is not that bad at all. The noise has been another thing that's been pretty good. Like there's not a lot of noise. And if you look at here with the if you want to look, wait, I'm gonna get this. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do Hold on, I just want to get one more article up here. Is this the one? Oh, that's the no, The Verge. Where's The Verge? Where are you, The Verge? Yeah, this is what I'm gonna compare these two. Like, I'm gonna stick with the Verge on here. Like, so if you want to go by reviews, I guess. So if you look at one website, The Verge, like they give the Xbox Series X an 8, and then they give the PlayStation 5 8.5. All right, but look at the difference, right? Look at the pros and the cons, right? It's a gaming machine, dude. It's a gaming machine. Hey, amazing DualSense. Games load quickly and run smoothly. A more streamlined UI. It's big. Unclear how expandable storage will work. Now, that's something that's a caveat that the drive is not going to function at first. And Cerny said this in his thing, where is it? The Virtual PlayStation. He says this about the SSDs not being ready, and hopefully it'll after launch. He says it right. I think he says that right here.
A look at the top 100 PlayStation 4, like just for samples, and seeing 4 or 5 gigabytes a second from them. By year's end, I expect there will be drives that saturate 4.0 and support 7 gigabytes a second. Having said that, we are comparing apples and oranges, though, because that commercial M2 drive will have its own architecture, its own flash controller, and so on. For example, the NVMe specification lays out a priority scheme for requests that the M2 drives.
Cerny, get to the point.
Our drive supports 6 PlayStation 5 for M2 drives. Unlike internal hard drives, there's unfortunately no standard for the height of an M2 drive, and some M2 drives have giant heat sinks. In fact, some of them even have their own fans. Right now, we're getting M2 drive samples and benchmarking them in various ways. When games hit beta as they get ready for the PlayStation 5 launch at year-end, we'll also be doing some compatibility testing to make sure that the architecture of particular M2 drives isn't too foreign for the games to handle. Once we've done that compatibility testing, we should be able to start letting you know which drives will physically fit and which drive samples have benchmarked appropriately high in our testing. It would be great if that happened by launch, but it's likely to be a bit past it. So please hold off on getting that M2 drive until you hear from us.
So what does Xbox have? Transparency? The dude just told you right there. Anyway. So yeah, unclear expandable will work, and no quick resume. So that's another thing, the quick resume thing. So as we saw with the Series X, I know it is soothing as hell, man. You can put, I listen to that. I'll probably sleep that through the whole friggin' night. So yeah, anyway, the quick resume feature. So what they said is that they have and I have a video here where another reviewer had it and showed how the PlayStation has you could jump between games, like you could quick launch a game from the menu, but it loads up the game. And yeah, but he actually shows it here. So I'm just gonna do that. So that's another thing. This quick resume thing. So I know Xbox has about 4 or 5 games that puts in the cache and you could jump right in. So they're good on them. At least they got something with the quick resume. Just tell me what 5 games you're gonna be playing at the same time on Xbox. Yeah. Anyway, I still can't figure out what 5 games you'll be playing with Xbox. But the fact is if you ever do play 5 games on Xbox, if they have that many, that's worth the damn. You could jump into them whenever you want. So you could jump into State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, the game that you're playing all the time, Gears 5 if you haven't played that one yet, and maybe Master Chief Collection, and maybe hell, Grounded or Bleeding Edge. You could jump around to your heart's content, have fun. Give me 5 games that I want to be playing at the same time. My God. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's their thing. So here you go. So he shows how he's gonna do this. So he goes from Devil May Cry, and I'm gonna show something else cool in here too. And this is like Aztec Gaming. Who's this guy? I don't know who his game is, but he got the content. I gotta show it. I gotta show what he does. He got the coverage here. So yeah, here it is. So it's this thing right here. When you oh my God. There he is. Shout out to Azrak. He shows it here where where he launches into another. When he launches into Spider-Man. So it's this thing. When you pop up the menu, it's this second thing here. And you could customize this bar too. He shows that you could do that. This is called the switcher. And he runs around. Now he opens it up, goes to the switcher, and he launches Devil May Cry. Recent games. And then it boots up the Devil May Cry. Let's see what he says.
Notifications, if you want to sort of, see your
Oh, he's going through it. Hold on. Did he jump it through it yet? Not yet. Yeah, let's see. He switches. When does he switch? Come on. Switch! So you could customize it. What shows? Here it is. So he switches. Play. Devil May Cry started up. There you go. Now he jumps back into Spider-Man, so watch that. Switcher, Spider-Man, play. Now, Devil May Cry, remember, I think it's the definitive edition, so yeah. And he jumps back into it. There's the load screen. So the only difference is that it doesn't freeze you in the spot that you're in. You gotta, like, the game boots up. And now he's in it. And if you remember with the quick resume feature too, like it does freeze for a little bit and get you into it, but that is a cool thing that the Xbox has. But if you recall, and this is why things like this, yes, they don't have it at launch, they don't have it, but if you remember, like I remember the PlayStation 4 because I didn't have it at launch, but I remember how it didn't have like the resume feature, like the suspend. You couldn't suspend anything and go into another app. It wouldn't. If you went into Netflix, it closed your game. It wouldn't suspend. And I remember they sent out an update about a year later, something like that, where they added the suspend feature. Then they added the boost feature for the Pro to all games. So the thing is that. Yeah, these things might not be here at launch. I don't think the system's incapable of doing it. I don't think the Smart Resume is something incapable. This is pretty cool, too. This is the share button, content button when you do it. But yeah, it is fast, right, Sam Ash? The switcher. It is yeah, exactly. And then they take a screenshot. You can record your last video. You can record the last gameplay when you hit the content button. And then you could start recording. And then that's your recent thing over here in the corner. And then your broadcast is over here. Remember, you could broadcast to YouTube. Now, that's something we haven't seen different on the Xbox One. You cannot broadcast to YouTube on the Xbox One. You have to use the Twitch app still. And it's not really, the broadcasting is not embedded into the UI like it is on the PlayStation. So they continue that from the PlayStation 4. And another cool thing that I found out from these reviews is this. So when you have your trophies and it takes a screenshot of your trophy. Well, actually now the PlayStation 5 takes a video clip leading up to the trophy and it puts it with a cool little like overlay when you want to see your replay. Yo, what's up, the Floyd Grinders? Yeah, so watch this. I thought this was really cool too. With the UI. So like if you have a clip and also the other thing is finally they added your playtime account. So when you are playing, and it's retroactive to the PlayStation 4 game. So when you click, say, look, cool. Look, here's your trophy. And it has your little guy that says overlay. And then this is the clip that made you lead to getting the trophy up here. Which, they got to improve the sound, I think, on that one. Like, I really I don't really hear effective sound. But it's pretty cool that it saves a clip like that, like, ready to share. Where it gives you your, you might not want to do that for every trophy. Like, all he did was ride the goddamn rhino. But, like, it's cool. So, it gives you your trophy. It gives you your username and PlayStation with this overlay. And it shows you leading up to the trophy. And you could just share that out. Which is pretty damn cool. Especially if you're doing some of those harder trophies. And, like, or a combo. Or you're trying to do some sort of special ability, special thing. And it just records that. Which I thought was friggin' awesome. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. And then how you can have the captures right there. So that's the UI. The other thing, so like, you remember they said like the embargo, right? November 12th. They still didn't talk about Share Factory. I didn't see anybody talking about Share Factory. I didn't see, shout out to over the 30 people watching. Hit that like button. Share it out. But I didn't see the Share Factory. PlayStation Now tab is here. We didn't see what the new PlayStation Now looks like. We didn't see what the PlayStation Store looks like on here. And he did show this. We did get to see what the gaming library looked like. And I thought I'll see that. Where's that? Yeah, that is interesting. So, like, yeah, so he goes, quick, I wanted to see what PlayStation. But yeah, so here's your game library. But look at this. You got, so your game library now is not an app. Like, you don't have to go there. You click on game library and look, it just shows up at the bottom, which is pretty damn awesome. And look, so this is what I thought was noticed. Your collection, so that's your purchases, right? Installed your PlayStation Plus games and your PlayStation Now games. It separates them out. Friggin' the other one, just like, the one now just like puts them all into one big thing. But yeah, it sorts them out by, you could sort them out by that. The PlayStation Now, downloaded, installed, and PlayStation Plus games. And here's your console storage. See, I wanted to see him click on PlayStation Now. I want to see what that's like. But they still haven't talked about it. If it's going to be any different on the PlayStation. Is it going to be 1080p streaming? Is it going to have, I don't know. We'll see. Is it going to have PlayStation 5 downloads? Ooh, I don't know. But there's still more to come. That's what's so great about this friggin' thing, right? Sony still got more to come, and we got less than a week left to this console launches. And I actually didn't even want to watch a lot of these reviews because I want to explore a lot of this stuff for myself. But that's why I'll let you guys see the stuff yourself too. I just wanted to pick out some of the cool things that I saw in some of the reviews. But with that, I just the thing is like, we're here. Next generation, the controllers. It is on, and the consensus is that the PlayStation is a next-gen console with games that demonstrate that. And to get back to the initial thing with the review of the PlayStation, because we took a digression because we're talking about the quick resume feature. Yo, what's up, Ravenflow? How you doing? And then look at the Xbox as a gaming machine. All right, it looks weird horizontally. It has expensive memory cards, $220 for a terabyte. But the biggest fallacy of the whole friggin' console, no AAA launch games. So, to bring it all back, grinders, we've went through this. The PlayStation has some things. Oh, and then while we're talking about a negative thing, let's go into this whole kind of load time thing with old games. So back to the original video of the Digital Foundry, right? Back to the original video of Digital Foundry, where they talked about backwards compatibility and how it works. And they were really impressed on how it took the PlayStation legacy games, the ones that are usually in the collection, right? And made these games 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second in Days Gone. 60 frames per second in Ghost of Tsushima. Awesome. Awesome. It wasn't zooming in, like look at all the remasters. And they said it's almost like getting a remaster. They said it in their video, and I encourage everybody to go watch this video. But they said it in their video about it. And it's interesting because it's not something that Sony really touted. Sony did not rely on backwards compatibility. So watching this video, it was a pleasant surprise how effective it is, because they thought that they were hiding something. That Sony was like, games that are capped at 30 frames a second are going to stay at 30 frames. But they thought that because Sony wasn't really highlighting it, it wasn't going to have all the games backwards compatible. They really weren't going to be that much improved. The speculation's there. If you're not talking about it, it might not be one of your strengths, right? That's why Digital Foundry was very surprised. And, they say it actually right here in the beginning. Let's hear it.
Platform comparisons. I think people are going to be surprised. That's my takeaway. There are surprises here, right?
Yes, I think we can agree on that.
Watch.
Hey everyone, so yes, next generation consoles, we promised you surprises, and here they come. PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility. It's not good news. It's great news. It's amazing news. It's much better than anything that we were possibly imagining, and we can imagine quite a lot. And joining me to discuss it, John Linneman.
Hey Rich, yeah, I think we've both been spending a lot of time playing some PS4 games in here and constantly surprised by how good this is. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that nice when you have lowered expectations, like you don't expect something and it's a pleasant surprise? Isn't that a nice feeling? Isn't that nice that a product exceeds your expectations? A surprise? A pleasant surprise. Rather than backwards compatibility is going to be the best. It's going to be the best. Oh, well, this one does it a little bit better in some instances. Oh, we're going to show gameplay. Oh, we're going to show Halo. We're going to show Halo. Oh my God, Halo's going to be incredible. I can't wait. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Ah. Well, XO19's coming. You expect games. Phil, we're going to see games. Oh, yeah. We're going to see games. Phil, what the hell is this shit? We're going to be at E3. Biggest show ever. Biggest show ever. We're the only ones there. Sony's not going. All right, Phil, great. What are we going to see? I'm excited about what I didn't show you. Playing games on the phone is great. You hype me up. Microsoft's MO has been overhyping and under-delivering. Sony underhypes and over-delivers. Right? Because trust me, if this was Xbox that didn't say anything, trust me, you don't want to see it because it's worse than what you think. Because guess what? The shit that they do hype up is worse than what they think. So imagine the shit that they don't talk about. It probably doesn't even want to hit the floor. Look at Halo. Look at Halo Infinite. We seen anything? Craig? Hey, Craig. That's all I got. I got Craig from Halo. That's it. Exactly. Sony does overhype their exclusives. Their exclusives are like the friggin' Vault. You're right, Ravenflow. Like, Sony does, they hype the shit out of their exclusives. But rightfully so. The games deserve the hype. But Sam Ash, exactly. And I wrote this after I saw this thing. Oh my God, Sony, what are you doing? I wrote this thing. I said, what a pleasant surprise. A nice bonus in between Spider-Man and Demon Souls. And Ratchet and Clank and God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. And actually what's so nice too is that actually God of War is probably a game that you will go back and play. So if it does get a 60 frames, Last of Us, Days Gone is a game you probably would like to go back and play because it's a good game. Anybody going back to play Crackdown? Anybody going back to play Grounded? Anybody going back to play any of these Microsoft games? Bleeding Edge? Anybody? Anybody? Microsoft don't have games that are worth going back for. Sony has award winners and games that are freaking awesome. You might want to put in Last of Us 2 and run through it again at higher frame rates because it was a great game. Days Gone's an incredible game. God of War's game of the year. Of course, backwards compatibility. You know what? Maybe I will throw that in the system while I'm playing brand new games. So Sony, of all people, not relying on that, but they're the ones that should be justifying it because they got games that you want to go back and play. Microsoft has done shit, and guess what? You know what? But I got to divert from this video because I got to go do another clip because we need a soundbite, guys. I think it's time for a Grinds My Gears sound clip. And what better to come from the horse's mouth itself? We got to go. Where is it? I'm going to find it because I'm thinking about it. I want it to come out here for you grinders. Over 40 grinders, hit that goddamn like button. We're going in and we're going dirty with Dollar Bill Phil. Where is it? Where is it? Where's that quality? Where's that quality? Where is it, McFly? Where is it? I think it's on my likes. Because there's a definition of when we talk about backwards compatibility and going back to play these games. Let's hear about it. Where is it? God damn it. I had it. Yes, here it is.
Two at this point.
Here it
I
is.
mean, yeah, I think that's largely a function of Microsoft's first party output in the Xbox One generation being garbage for the most by and large.
Gaming streaming
Excuse me?
services do too at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's largely a function of Microsoft's first party output in the Xbox One generation being garbage for the most.
He's on the Xbox podcast, the last goddamn real podcast that is on media. Xbox One first party being garbage. Does that sound like shit you're gonna go back and play? Does it? It is damn right. That's right, Rainflow. He is right. I'm glad he said it, because if somebody else says it, it's like, you're just hating. It's true. Phil says it. When I look at Xbox, I then want to look at quality games. Well, we haven't done well.
By and large,
Gaming streaming services do too at this point.
yeah.
One more
I mean,
time.
Yeah, I think that's largely a function of Microsoft's first party output in the Xbox One generation being garbage for the most by and large.
Gaming streaming service.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. You think? So when you talk about backwards compatibility and stuff like that, it's such a nice bonus. And then John Linneman, after his video that he went into here with this, where'd he go? Yeah, with this thing, right? He says here, what? Hear this.
But again,
Past on Series X. Now we've seen it on PS5. It's Crisis Remastered.
No.
1440p resolution, but the Paris state.
1X
Let's
and
compare
Pro.
it to Xbox.
Yeah, it's very rare that you actually find a game that runs with an unlocked frame rate on both series mode and
this is interesting
1440p.
because remember, let's talk. What we got? We got the 40 grinders, guys. Let's think about it, right? Let's think. Hit that like button, share it out. I'm gonna do this. The Series X eats monsters for breakfast. I don't know what PlayStation 5 does, but a quote from Microsoft is that it eats monsters for breakfast. All right? You are the most powerful console. Phil Ness, penile enhancements, 12 teraflops of Phil Ness. With great power comes great responsibility. There should be no doubt in any game that you put in to that Xbox Series X, it should be the best, run the best, better than anything, simply the best. Better than all the rest. If it's anything from their marketing campaign about being the most powerful console ever, no matter if it's a new game, if it's an old game, if it's any type of game, should be de facto the best, because guess what? If you're the guy that's the best in the boxing arena and you still drop your hand just a little bit, you open yourself for the haymaker. No matter how better you are than anybody else, you got to be the best definitively, right? So there should be no doubt when there is a PlayStation game from the PlayStation 5, according to most people, there should be no doubt that the Series X runs it the best, because that is the marketing term. That is the teraflops. That's all we've been hearing for 2 goddamn years. And add that to the Xbox One X. And we've seen this, right? We've seen the most powerful Xbox One X be outperformed by a PlayStation 4 Pro, because the PlayStation 4 Pro was better optimized for the game, and the Series X was just trying to do a Phil Ness brute force and round up not having better performance. And if you want a one in resolution, then guess so. But look at this.
But still not perfect neck to. So the default was targeting 30 frames per second, but they did add in this sort of unlocked frame rate mode. And the Xbox Series X running in higher resolution than Pro, it wasn't enough to actually lock.
First off, we got 1800p and 1296p, right? Look at the wall. Okay. Yeah. Get your monocles out, you sons of bitches. Watch this.
Lock it to 60. I mean, it was better, a lot better, but it just couldn't get there. So I was really thrilled to see when I loaded this up. I played through the first.
This shouldn't happen. I don't care if it is low resolution. This should not have better performance than this. This is the monster that eats monsters for breakfast. This is the most powerful console in the world. Buy your varsity jackets. There should be no doubt this should beat with resolution and performance. Kill PlayStation with its paltry 10 teraflops.
Hour or so into the city, ran around there.
The fact that this even happens, I don't care. It shouldn't. Because the fact that it does destroys the whole goddamn message.
It's basically flawless. I mean, it's really stable, 60 frames per second. I still think the game looks great. It's got some really cool effects at work and just like neat moments that kind of mess with your like mind, I guess. You know, that's the whole point. But yeah, it just blazes through, no problem at all. It loads faster. It runs like a dream.
Fleetingly drop. The resolution is lower than. Yeah, and speaking of remarkable, for a Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Now, this was a game that I tested on Xbox Series X, and I was really impressed with it because you did see a transformative boost to performance. 1800p, 60 frames per second for a fair amount of the benchmark sequence, but when we got into gameplay, 50 to 60 was the actual readout that you'd get for the actual experience of playing it.
And that's the thing is your tests, I mean, you haven't really had a chance to play this game, so they were all fairly early in non-demanding areas. I loaded up some other areas on the PS5, and including the intro as well, and it's just perfect. I mean, that's the point here. And this is a perfect example of checkerboard rendering 1800p versus native 1800p. The visual difference between them is so minuscule, but the performance boost is much more significant here. And as a result, like I played this really on my PC because I was really having a hard time getting. I couldn't adjust to the unlocked frame rate on the consoles for this game, and even on my PC at the time, I haven't tested it lately. I was still getting weird little stutters and hitches here and there. None of that is a problem on PS5. It looks super clean, full HDR. Just rock solid performance all around. It's so good that I'm actually thinking I would like them to re-release a pre-patched version of this game on a disc, because I would buy that in a second.
This is not Grind's Foundry. That should not happen to the most powerful console in the world who's eating monsters for breakfast and bitches for lunch. Dude, this shouldn't happen. And all I said was, that is such a that is a nice surprise. Like, wow. Because I didn't think that was going to happen, especially since Sony didn't even talk about backwards compatibility. So, performance, the one thing that Xbox Series X has is backwards compatibility. That is their meal ticket, right? That is Xbox Series X's meal ticket, is backwards compatibility. And Sony, once again, struck like a goddamn viper and sniped that goddamn message right from them by having games just work. And I'm going to tell you why that we're going to see more of this on these unoptimized games. You want to know why? Because these games were better optimized for the PlayStation 4 and they're going to run better on the PlayStation 5. The whole thing with the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S running at 900p was that the PlayStation was the lead platform for development for a majority of games. Because of that, developers optimized their games for the PlayStation. Therefore, that optimization in these old-ass games are going to get carried over to when they put them on the PlayStation 5. So already we're seeing the Xbox sins of Father Phil Ness is now will be hurting it into next generation because Microsoft has nothing new. They're relying on old-ass games. Well, old-ass games weren't optimized for your poorly solid system. And because of that, the games might run better on a PlayStation because they were designed with the PlayStation as the lead platform. That's why sales matter. That's why Microsoft had to turn a leaf and sell more Xboxes now to get that mind share away from Sony so developers would give a shit about the Xbox and they would optimize their games to be the best on Xbox, the lead platform. But way Phil Ness is going, he don't give a shit if you buy a lead platform. He don't care. Sony's going to take it right out of the gate. Boom. They're going to buy PlayStation 5s. Developers are going to keep developing for PlayStation 5, and Xbox is going to be a patch job. And that's the scenario. That's why Microsoft had to come out swinging. Instead, they came out in goddamn thongs and get kicked in the nuts with some backwards, lame-ass system without any friggin' AAA games. They didn't come out swinging. They came out with bitch slaps and thongs. That's what they did. And it's bullshit. And if you're a fan of Xbox, you should be angry about it. Because it's inexcusable. It's bad management. And Sony slapped them a new one. And you want to know what else they did? So then everybody started running for the load times. Because GameSpot, who had a friggin' Xbox One X shoved up their ass, decided to just load up these load times on games. Now everybody ran with it like this is what it's going to be, right? These load times. They load faster on the One X over the Series X over the friggin' PlayStation 5. These old-ass games, Final Fantasy, oh my. Well, if you remember, when everybody had the consoles getting hot, everybody's like, it's not optimized. It's not patched. Let me tell you something. Hit that like button. Let me tell you something. Load times. Instant resume. Quick resume. Improving resolutions. Improving compatibility. You want to know what? The bad stuff. The stuff that, okay, fine. You want to know what? Let the X load old games faster. Who cares? It's a bonus for PlayStation because PlayStation actually has new shit you want to play. It's a pleasant surprise that your collection works better. That's great. And backwards compatibility was never bad. It's awesome. We should get it. It was wrong what they did last generation. But it's a bonus. It's a perk. You buy a new console to play new games. New experiences, new controller, new UI, new capabilities with activities, jumping in and out of games, quick resume like the Xbox has. And things that they don't have, like, oh well, you can't put your PlayStation 5 games on an external hard drive. Okay. Do you want to know what all that stuff can be done with? Guess what? You could patch all that stuff up. You could patch compatibility. You could patch a game to work with better load times. I think those games are running on PlayStation 4 Legacy. I don't care. I'm not going to fight going like, oh my God, Xbox should load it faster. It's the more powerful console. If it could load old games fast, that's fine. But let's see what it does when we have a new game, a next-gen game, a Call of Duty. Let's see what happens with Call of Duty on the Xbox and PlayStation. What third party does with the Xbox and PlayStation. Now let's see the measurement of the load times. Don't throw in Final Fantasy 15 and go, look, it loads up in 1 minute 30 here and 2 minutes 10 on the Xbox. Xbox wins. Fine. Great. Yay. It's good. Not denying it. Good. Maybe the SSD is crap. Maybe Cerny nest us all, right? Maybe. Who cares? Fine. The point is that, hit that like button, everybody. The point is that, exactly, the game night, it should not be one of the main focal points. It shouldn't. And that's what they leaned on. And that's what Xbox had to lean on. And the fact is that Sony backwards compatibility, something that they didn't even really talk about. It sounded like, hey, Like, remember? Here, actually, I have it right here. Hold on, let me share this thing out here. But I have it right here. He says it right here.
No standard for the height of an M2 drive. And some M2 drives have giant
Right here, he says
speed
it.
of
Remember this?
and to add a new, more advanced feature set. But that feature set accomplished, like the GPU cap CPUs, but unification of functionality took years of efforts by AMD, as any roadmap advancement creates a potential divergence in logic. Running PS4 and PS4 titles at boosted frequencies has also added complexity. The boost is truly massive this time around, and some game code just can't handle it. Testing has to be done on a title-by-title basis. Results are excellent, though. We recently took a look at the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles as ranked by playtime, and we're expecting almost all of them to be playable at launch on PlayStation 5.
And everybody's like, oh, only 100 games at launch for PlayStation. Meanwhile, they made the whole goddamn library backwards compatible. But see what it has, the PlayStation 4 Pro Legacy Mode, PlayStation 4 Legacy Mode. Those games that they're probably throwing in there are probably PlayStation 4 Legacy Mode and boosted. So it's boosting the frame rate and CPU. So I looked up the, what boosted mode is, and it increases the GPU and the CPU. It doesn't do anything with load times. The load times, though, are improved from the old generation, but the Xbox does have better load times in the older games. And I think that because Microsoft has a more straightforward SSD like memory system, that I think that it benefits a lot more from it. That's what I think. So I think it's natively in the hardware that Microsoft has better compatibility with older games than Sony does, until Sony maybe could patch them. But see the word I said? Patch. Maybe 2 months from now they patch it, and now the load times in Final Fantasy match it or improved. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to be playing Final Fantasy. But remember what I said. Patch. You could patch the compatibility. You could add quick resume. You could add, better frame rates. You could patch these games for compatibility. But you know what you can't patch? You know what you can't patch? This. How do you fix that? How do you fix that? That's not fixed by a patch. You can't just say compatibility patch uploaded tomorrow. It's non-issue now. Booster mode Mog says. How you patch no AAA games? The Xbox Series X has a huge problem. No AAA games. At launch or in the near future. You can't fix that with a patch. You can't fix that with a little software update. You can't patch and just have AAA games, award-winning games, games that people give a shit about. No, that's not fixed by a patch. So some of the shortcomings of PlayStation that people think are W's, W, that's fine. I'm playing Miles Morales. I'm playing Demon's Souls. Okay, you could sit there and jerk off over 2 minutes and 150, right? And 30 seconds. I hope everybody who's excited about that asks Santa for goddamn stopwatches so you can jerk off about it on Christmas time. But the biggest thing is the games. And the fact that the PlayStation has better performing backwards compatibility when they didn't even talk about it. They didn't even hype it up. And it's a weaker system, according on paper to an Xbox. Xbox, the most powerful console in the world, should not be compromised. It should be giving you the best performance and the best graphics in everything. Right? If it's the most powerful thing in the world, if power is the advertisement, let's see. Let's look up Xbox Series X. Let's see. Oh, let's see what it says. Let me see. What is on their main page? What does it say? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this. All the games you can't play. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. What? Oh, they said they went back to Xbox again? No more the most powerful console in the world? What happened? Is it the velocity architecture, the dynamic range 8K? Oh my god, 8K. Oh my god. 4K? When you're the most powerful console and the best thing, you should not be beat by anything weaker than you. You know, if you have a V8 and you're the fastest car in the world, as soon as you lose one race, you're not the fastest car anymore. Right? So, like, why are backwards compatibility games? Some are actually running at better stable frame rates than that. You should beat you in price, in graphics, and performance. You should have the higher resolution and the more stable frame rates if you are the fastest and most powerful console, right? You shouldn't be like, well, we got a higher resolution but lower frame rate and more stuttering, but the other one's running at a checkerboarded version of our resolution and it's running it more stable. Oh, okay. No, there should be no excuse. You're the most powerful console in the world. Your de facto should be better in everything. Sony should not beat you at all. And this is what you would have to believe, right? If you were listening to the 12 teraflops and the jerking off that happened earlier this year when it was Spec Wars. The most powerful console. But see, we were smarter than that. Because we knew that that was a line of horse shit. That may be on Phil's bedroom ceiling that he gets excited about with his little advertisements. But the reality of it, it's about optimization. It's about developer talent. And it's about the games that makes. It's not about raw teraflops and raw power. It's meaningless. And you see that. Because if it mattered, then Xbox would just be flat destroying, outperforming everything that Sony has. Sony couldn't even touch it. But it's not the same. And that's why it was an interesting surprise that some games ran better in backwards compatibility and they weren't optimized for it, but wow, interesting. Now, yeah, that SSD, that Xbox has maybe a straightforward SSD. Maybe Sony needs to make their games compatible, right? PlayStation King says, Xbox is toxic and it grinds my gears. Welcome. Another grinder who grinds my gears. That's right. So, the thing is that if you recall, Xbox had to be incredible because they lost so much ground with the poor Xbox One. And as Ryan McCaffrey said, the garbage first-party games. So they needed to hit this out of the park. And they made a great piece of hardware. It's just that developers don't give a shit about it. Microsoft don't give a shit about it. They don't give a shit about the users of that console to give you guys premium experiences and exclusives. And very interesting how Gears Tactics, the only goddamn game from Microsoft that's going to be coming around, didn't even get a blink of an eye yesterday at all. They reviewed the console based off of backwards compatibility. And I think in reality, it's irrelevant. The Xbox is irrelevant. And that's why this is worse than 2013. In 2013, people actually gave a shit about Xbox. They didn't want to share their games because they cared about Xbox. They cared about the community. They cared about what was going on. Right now, Xbox is so irrelevant because it doesn't have anything to offer for gaming at all. Game Pass is not saving them in reviews. It has nothing. They make good hardware, but they got no content. And everything that's said today in Sony's reviews, next gen is here. The controller is huge. And if the controller continues to be huge, that is going to be more important than frame rates and little, oh, we're running it at 1900 and we're running it at 1800 and zoom in 400 and see the difference. But no, if your controller is making you feel immersed and doing things that Xbox can't do, that controller becomes a factor in where you're going to play your games. Because it is a next-gen controller. And let's see how they use it. And it says here, this says in the review, it says it may sound like a gimmick, but the HD Rumble on the Nintendo Switch, but thankfully the PlayStation 5 comes with just the right game to show how the DualSense can do. And Nationals Playroom is a better pack-in than friggin' Wii Sports. That was the reviews. Bug Snacks is coming to you free next week. And it's about the games. They had the hardware, they had the console, they had the UI, and then they had the games to demonstrate the capabilities, the early capabilities of the machine to justify the quality and hope and content, the potential of the system. A complete review. And Xbox lost yesterday with their reviews because they had the hardware, they had some backwards compatibility, but they didn't have the games to demonstrate the capabilities of the world's most powerful console. And that's a criticism that they had back at the Xbox One X. They had nothing to show the world's most powerful console. Did it fly off the shelves? Did it beat PlayStation and NPDs? Did it do anything? Didn't do anything. It was a modest update that people bought and got suckered into that they canceled it 2 years later. And now it's worth less than a PlayStation 4 Pro. And it costs $200 more, $100 more. But this is another thing that you need to look at. And not just comparing load times between the next-gen consoles, but look at the difference between the last generation. Spider-Man Miles Morales, it's 1 minute and 27 seconds on the PlayStation 4. I'm going to make this bigger here. It's 17 seconds on the PlayStation 5. 17 seconds. No Man's Sky is 1 minute 34. It's almost 3 minutes on the friggin' PlayStation 4. Final Fantasy 17 Remake is 35 seconds. 1 minute and 29 seconds. Genshin Impact is almost 1 minute compared to 3. Ghost, that's the closest one though. Ghost has doing something crazy. Days Gone has crazy load times. They're 1:18 versus 2:54. Death Stranding, which I also had big load times, 54 seconds versus 1 minute and 50 seconds. And then this whole thing with activities, a fun feature which makes you jump into specific parts of the game and actually jump into trophies, jump into special modes. Awesome. And again, it's built right into the dashboard, right into the UI. Potential's there. That's fun. As a gamer, that's fun. That's not counting pixels. That's not counting frames. That's not counting shadows. That's not looking at shadows and zooming in and looking up and all this other stuff. No, it's fun. That's right, Buck Rogers. It was a huge world to load. But this is fun stuff. These are potential. These are things that Xbox used to do. And I'm glad Sony's doing it. The other thing that's really cool that they showed was the PlayStation 5 has the ability to load presets. So let me see. I think I had it here. Because this is something that the 360 did and the Xbox One never did. And I loved it because I'm a freak, I play inverted. So, like, every time I got to hit options, go right to inverted, and change that around. Hey, Austin Evans, what do you think about the Xbox?
Latest and greatest console is all about. So let's take a closer look at what Microsoft's latest and greatest console is all about. Spoiler alert, this is really the Xbox One 0.5.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
Take a closer look at what Microsoft's
what was
latest
that
and greatest
again?
console is all about. Spoiler alert, this is really the Xbox One 0.5.
Jesus.
So let's take a closer look.
All right. It wasn't me. Hit me on the sofa. It wasn't me. Dude. Messaging. Clear. You have to win. You got to steal the mind share away.
At what Microsoft's latest and greatest console is all
They're
about.
just hanging in there by the
Spoiler
skin of
alert,
their teeth.
This is really the Xbox One 0.5.
Nobody said that about the Xbox One. The Xbox One was not bad. Like, whatever, man. This is just not good. Not good. It's a mockery, dude. It's a mockery. Oh, these screenshots. My God, PlayStation. But where is it? I think it was later in the day that I found it. It was yep. There we go. You know what? Nobody likes you boosted. That's what I'm telling you, man. I showed you that video clip yesterday. Yo, these two things, man. Woo! Look at that. This is the Spider-Man. Look at that friggin' suit. Awesome. Look at these screenshots. Dude, look at this shit. This is captured on PlayStation 5. My God. And you can only imagine what like the real deal Spider-Man is gonna look like, right? So yeah. So look how cool this is, right? So if you don't remember this from the 360, the PlayStation 5 has these game and app settings. So you could actually always have your game default to the game default or what you want. I always play it on extra hard. I play on normal, right? Performance mode or resolution modes that it'll just change those settings. First person view, third person view, what kind of audio you want, if you want subtitles all the time. So I will go right to first person view and third person and change it to inverted. So whenever I boot up the game, it'll automatically just change the inverted settings. I don't have to go into options and change it. And it was really cool. Like the 360 had this, and the Xbox One never did. And it's great that with Snap and with the video overlay, PlayStation 5 has that, and they got this. Pretty awesome. They also have spoiler warnings where you could choose to hide spoiler warnings. So anything that's identified by the developer as a spoiler warning, you wouldn't get it in your feed of a share or anything like that when you're on the PlayStation, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, man, fun stuff. Nice things, like really cool things, like practical things that make you look forward to a next generation. Look at this friggin' game. My God, this is Ghost of Tsushima. Man. Look at this game. See? You're going to go back and play it, right? It looks like this. You're going back to play Bleeding Edge? No. Anyway. But, and I think there was one other thing that I had here. Yes, and here's the time tracking that they have. So see? One day, how many hours? That's awesome because they needed that. I remember saying that they needed that because I like that with Xbox. Xbox had that, with the play hours and stuff like that. So now they finally added it, and it's retroactive. So it's been saving it. It's been saving, but it actually now you don't need to hopefully game saves and stuff like that. Pretty awesome. Yeah, here it is. So here are the those load things I was saying about, like Red Dead 2. So it's a second off. Final Fantasy 15 is 48 seconds on Xbox, 1 minute and 10 seconds, so about 20-second difference. Destiny 2 is 42 versus 57. Monster Hunter World is 35 seconds versus 51. Arkham Knight is 58 versus 1 minute and 7 seconds. So it's 8-second difference. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Xbox is better. Great. Congratulations, you win the generation. And then, so yeah, crap gamer. So yeah, this is actually pretty interesting because, like, look, so this is the whole thing. This is like a recap, right? Xbox is such a fanboy. That's right. Yeah, just like games, like playing games and being like. I like being excited for something that I didn't anticipate. Like, I don't have to have lowered expectations, right? Exactly. I'm a fanboy for good games. That's right, Mog. But the thing is if you listen to what Xbox needed to do to win back the generation, remember, everybody thought Sony was going to mess up. Sony's quiet. This is why I want to keep iterating, because people forget, like, the urgencies. Like, remember in July, like, it was make or break? And dude, it was break. Halo failed. Halo got delayed. We got a Craig meme. Like, it was it. Everybody's like, this is make or break. July is make or break. How do you come out of July and be like, no, Xbox got it, man. They got a great future ahead? No, July was make or break. And it broke. Bad. Worse. It wasn't even a bad Halo game. It was a bad Halo game, and it got delayed. And we don't know when it's coming out. Then you launch a console, and look at the headlines. Xbox Series X, beautiful, powerful. What you gonna play? Jason Schreier. These people have influence, right? Influences. Xbox Series X, sleep, minimal loading screen, 0 games, can't be played on other platforms. You skipped a lot of old Xbox games, want to play Valhalla? Cool. Otherwise, don't buy it. It's not a console war. It's consumerism. You need competition, and one is not doing it. Xbox Series X review. It's brilliant, but where's all the fun new stuff? No exclusive games. We've been saying you need games. I want to play games. How do you launch a gaming console without games? More. A sports car without gas. Why you should wait to buy the new console. Summing up experiences, review process only let down by the lack of games to play. The new console where there's nothing new. The console's fast, but lacks the wow factor without big exclusives. And then here's Sony's the next day. Sony's the vision of the future. Exciting upgrade we hope for. A big confident step into next gen. Already doing everything right. The Sony PlayStation 5 is the moment of glory that 2020 needs and a clear winner over Xbox. The game system didn't even come out yet. A-, accessible ray tracing, speedy load times, making an excellent upgrade. Making console gaming exciting again. Shit. The future of gaming has arrived. The future of console gaming is here. DualSense controller is a game changer and screams of something new for next gen. Xbox had the best controller for a long time, and it's still great. But the DualSense adds a new dimension of gaming experiences. And now it's the controller to beat. Dudes. Does that sound like what Microsoft and Xbox needed to do for this generation to gain the mind share back to be competitive? Or does it sound like that they're really just flapping their wings and maybe just I don't care? Right? It's just so it's just so unfortunate, that I just don't understand it. Froggy T right, you're new here. You want to ask what Jason Schreier read? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't have a Twitter account. This is what he said about PlayStation 5. You talk about cherry picking. Let's see. Yeah, because that's a good question. We don't want to cherry pick here. Grinders, we don't do cherry picking. Let's welcome Froggy. Frog face. Let's see. Let's see what Jason Schreier said, because we don't want to cherry pick. He asked a legit question. What do you say about PlayStation 5? Yeah, he got nasty messages. So here's his review of this. Let's see. PlayStation review. Faster loads, 60 frames per second are great, but the real winner here is the controller. The most impressive part of next gen so far, there's more to play on the PlayStation 5 than there is on Xbox. Don't miss bug snacks. Oh shit. But you can get nearly all of it on PlayStation 4. Okay, yeah, you can. Should you buy a PlayStation 5? If you want to play Demon's Souls, which we haven't been able to try yet, or games like God of War and Spider-Man at 60 frames, wonderful, then sure. But as with Xbox, there are more reasons to wait it out than there is to spend $500 right now. And I liked it. Yeah. Who wants to run out and spend $500 right now? But that wasn't as harsh as what he said about Xbox. And then on top of that, here's this thing. By the way, even if you're big on specs and performance, you should still wait to get a next-gen console. We don't know if the Xbox will have significant performance advantages over third-party, or if devs will take advantage of the PlayStation 5. Yeah, we don't know. And he says, superhero fantasy that portrays the world and hints. But you're just playing Spider-Man, dude. Hey, It sounds pretty good. He was pretty harsh on that Xbox, I have to say. And he says, don't buy the Xbox either. So, but here you go. Microsoft bills the Xbox Series X as the most powerful video console ever, but that means absolutely nothing right now and probably won't for a long time, if it ever does. Do you think it seems balanced? Yeah, he says don't buy it. But you think that sounds balanced? I don't know about same energy. Let's go back to see what he said again about that Xbox. Let's see. What did he say here? What did he say again? I gotta go back to the other one. Oh no, man. I don't know. I don't think there's a cherry pick, dude. Like, those are the headlines. Here's VentureBeat. Making console gaming great again. Is that cherry picked? You want to see a cherry picked? I'm going to show you one. You want to see one? Here it is. Because this is what you want to see, right? Because let's go. I'm going to do this one. There it is. I think this is the one. Is this the one that says it? There you go. Oh, there you go. The Polygon Xbox Series review. It recaptures the magic of the 360. Boring is better. It's a piece of hardware. It's one word, boring. What, this guy, Froggy, this guy? Who? Is this the Polygon? Well, he just collated them all together, though, Froggy. That's what they're all together, and it does. Listen, it was a message yesterday that Xbox did not have the games, right? It was. Like, you can't deny that. And that's the bottom line. The thing is that the Xbox doesn't have first-party games, and they need it to. And it's not going to sell because of that. It will sell to the people that still like Xbox, but it's not going to sell because of that, right? There's no desirable game. And to be honest, whatever you want to call Spider-Man, Spider-Man is going to sell because it's Spider-Man, and also it's a new game with Miles Morales and a shiny new console, and the messaging is clear. It's for the PlayStation 5, right? Like, this is not outrageous. This is not no, like, oh man, that'll never happen. Xbox, but you got people going like, oh, Xbox is destroying PlayStation because it's 12 teraflops. Like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. Because that's no benefit to any of us. It's the goddamn games. And if Microsoft just sees people celebrating 12 teraflops and go, hey, they're happy with that, throw more bullshit in Game Pass. Come on. That's not what we want. And that's what I don't do here because I'm not accepting that. Microsoft has to compete like they did with the 360, like they did in the Xbox One. Dude, they did this in the Xbox One. They brought Killer Instinct. They brought great games. I showed it yesterday. 7 years and it's worse. But Phil has a better shirt. Phil got more Phil Ness going from. Who gives a shit about executives? I don't care. Doesn't matter. For a whole 2 goddamn years, they talked about everything with teasing announcements like they had time. Oh, we got some stuff to show you in November. Here's Everwild. Oh, we'll show you something else in July. Here's Everwild. Oh, here's an interview with the dev. We don't know what the game is going to be. Who you bullshitting? And then July, you show some bullshit. And then basically it's like, oh, yeah, well, these don't look like they're coming out anytime soon. So in addition to the last 5 years that we waited, and 2 years since he bought studios, let's wait more 2 years. The thing is that there is no time if you still want to be relevant in the console business. Because Sony and Nintendo are running away with it. And you spent generations to establish Xbox as a legitimate console brand, and bring in the revolution of online gaming. You spent years and dedicated fans and built communities based off of that Xbox console, based around Halo. And you're really just going to let it all go from 2016 and just put your hands up in the air and going, it's about the cloud, it's about Game Pass, play where you want. You basically just abandoned decade of building that brand to just give it up in just 4 short years and now launch 2 consoles without any games to show the benefit of a console. Come on. And the thing is that if Sony was doing bad as well and consoles were dying, I could see it. But consoles are doing better than ever. The PlayStation's selling incredible. The Switch has outsold Xbox at 68 million. It's going crazy. Consoles are doing better than ever. So there's no exit of the console business. Like, it's still there. And granted, I always say Xbox has potential. I said it. But you want to know what? They don't just have potential now that they have first-party studios and 23 of them. Xbox has always had potential. They had the most money. They had IP that people wanted. How long has people been asking for a Banjo-Kazooie? I really don't care. But it is an avid fan base. You saw how crazy they went for stupid Banjo showing up in a Switch game. Just make a great platformer. People ask for I've been asking for a Conker game, man. Give me a proper Conker game. Come on, you're sitting on IP. Where's MechAssault? Where's Sunset 2? Where's Rise 2? Where's Killer Instinct 2? Why didn't you celebrate Master Chief 8 years with Halo 4? Why didn't you do anything about it? Why didn't you do an anniversary collection for Halo 3? Their 10-year came and went. That's your IP. That's your baby. Why did you show Halo Infinite the way it was? How are we getting better? This is what I don't stand. I don't understand. Oh, they're better. But better? I was better in 2013. What? They just opened up their wallet and flexed and bought a bunch of bullshit? They bought goddamn Ninja Theory. They showed Hellblade 2 a year ago. Where is it? Where is it? Out of sight, out of mind. They didn't even show gameplay of it. It was some bullshit trailer. They had 3 showcases and still didn't show it. Nothing. Didn't even mention it. Oh, they hyped up keyboard and mouse support. Why? For what? To just have Gears Tactics get dumped into Game Pass with the console on Series X when it launched on PC back in goddamn February? Hey, they turned it around. Tell me, when's the banger of Flight Simulator coming to the Xbox? When's that banger coming out? When? When? No, I'm not a developer, but I can tell you what. The competition is giving a whole shitload of games. I don't give a fuck who works for them. All I know is the games I'm going to be playing. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I don't need to know that the initiative hired a guy to wipe somebody's ass from Naughty Dog. I don't need to know that a game is coming. I know Spider-Man, what? Miles Morales, what? Demon Souls, what? God of War, what? Hellblade, what? Horizon Zero Dawn 2, what? Bethesda exclusives? Oh, thanks. I wasn't asking for it, but thank you anyway. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I don't need to know what shirt Phil Spencer's wearing or what goddamn Ori outfit that Aaron Greenberg's prancing around with in the goddamn woods. I don't need to know if Phil is shaking hands at E3 and wiping asses and kissing babies. I don't give a shit about that. Returnal. I didn't ask for that. Whoa, that looks awesome. Destruction All-Stars. Shit. Thanks for free. Fucking bug snacks. Thanks. Thanks. I'm not no game developer. I don't need to know Phil's goddamn fucking underwear. I don't give a shit what Phil's doing. Oh, but Xbox turns it around because they show a goddamn trailer to Fable. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good. But you know what? I've played God of War 1. Have you played a Fable from Playground Games? No, you didn't. You played the races from Playground Games. Have you played Fable from Playground Games? I tell you what, I played God of War. Fucking awesome. Guess what? God of War 2? Be fucking awesome. You tell me how Fable's gonna be. You know? Avowed. Tell me how that's gonna be. You played Avowed 1, 2? But guess what? I played Horizon 1 and beat it. I'll tell you, Horizon 2 would be fucking awesome. See, the difference is, when you build a legacy, when you play games and they announce sequels, you could just show me a trailer and I know what I'm going to expect. Horizon's going to be incredible because I played the first one and it was incredible. There's a big goddamn question mark with Xbox. Fucking huge question mark. Tell me how a Playground game, and nonetheless, then take all those games, faith-based gaming, that's right, Mog. Then take all those games and say, wait a second, a $69.99 game. How's that going to look for $14.99 a month in Game Pass dollar bill gaming? Dollar bill Phil. So not only do you don't know what kind of games they're going to be and what kind of quality and how's Playground Games, which they're a good developer, but have they made Fable before? Have they made even an RPG before? No. So we don't know. So how do we know if Xbox turned it around? Shit, they bought Ninja Theory. Guess what Ninja Theory put out right after Microsoft bought them? Bleeding Edge. Wasn't Hellblade. Wasn't Hellblade 2. Bleeding Edge. Tell me that was a passion project. Oh, so they get a pass? Okay, you're going to give them a pass. Phil ruined goddamn Xbox. All right? He's not the savior that you think he is. He's a fucking fake. He's a businessman that has Phil-nest all of you. And if you look through the cracks and look at the quality and stuff that he's been putting out, he's not no goddamn savior. He fucking destroyed it. He made it lose its identity. And once you realize that you've been sold bullshit in a box. Because it's not about Phil. It's not about Satya. It's not about Greenberg. It's not about Major Nelson. It's about the fucking games, the gaming console. Gives a shit how the games come to me. Are they great games? They're award-winning games? Then that's fine. But it's all about all the other bullshit with Xbox. It's about the teraflops. It's about all the executives. It's about who they're hiring at the initiative. It's about how many studios they're paying, how many people they're buying. That's what it is. But when it comes to games, it's like, give them time. But let me go talk about specs, though. You know, that's what you want to do. That's what you do. But to let you know, that's the losing game. That's the losing game. Because you're not getting the output. You care about everything else because that's all they got is everything else. They don't have the games. And once you realize that, then you realize that right here, power your dreams. Goddamn fucking right, power your dreams, because in your dreams does this thing do well. Unless they got some goddamn games. So enjoy launch on Tuesday. Go play Assassin's Creed and Bleeding Edge and State of Decay and all those bangers. Sea of Thieves probably looked wonderful. And realize that they've launched the console twice without games. And this is not just me. Go look at all the reviews. You want to know why I know that was everybody? Because guess what? Everybody was goddamn quiet yesterday. Yesterday was supposed to be a day for Xbox to celebrate. to redeem themselves because the console of consoles was reviewed. But guess what? Everybody was in their little, they went into a little bubble. Know why? Because there was nothing to celebrate about. Because all the reviews were saying, it's a great piece of hardware, but there's nothing to play on it. That's not a celebratory kind of statement. Tetris. You know? It's not a celebratory day. But then you look at PlayStation reviews today and people are going crazy. The games are great. The controller's great. Spider-Man's incredible. Go get it. Yeah, that's totally different. That sounds like a celebration. That sounds like something fun. And that's what gaming is. Fun. Shouldn't be about teraflops or GPUs. It should be about the games. And one has games that everybody's excited to play for, and the other one doesn't. It's a waiting game. So, wait. Enjoy. But you guys, grinders, you come here for the games. And that's what it's about. The goddamn games. And it's always going to be about. Because at the end of the day, you play games. Not GPUs, not frame, not all this bull. So keep waiting for games and justifying in hopes and dreams. They got a lot of proving to do. And what I try to say is like, all up to this day, remember they're going to be bold. Up until this day, it's right, Shamash. And that's the thing that hurts most. Like Shane Kim, Seamus Blackley, Ed Freeze. Phil worked for those guys, man. He knew, like, yeah, I don't understand it. It's Satya. Next Thursday is going to be lit. That content button is going to be going crazy, man. Sharing, streaming. Woo! And Xbox going to be irrelevant. And they're good. You get it. Like, get what you want. Play it. If you like old games and you like what the Xbox One X was, go get the Series X. I'm not shaming you. But all I'm saying is, don't think anybody's turned any leaf or the day of redemption's coming. That's what I'm trying to say. Because everything that I say is the things they need to do that. Everything that other people say where they're like, oh no, just wait a couple years. Yeah, no. That's not a winning strategy. So the things that grinds my gears and the things that I talk about are things that Xbox needs to do to beat PlayStation to be relevant. And if you don't like that, then you're the problem. So just don't go running around thinking that just because you might load a game 20 seconds faster, people are going to fly off shelves. We said it before. Nobody likes you, Booster. Nobody wants the sidekick. Nobody wants Booster. Everybody wants Turbo Man. And Turbo Man comes on Thursday. Let's go, grinders. Thank you again. What a show. Hit that like button. Share it out. Probably got some dislikes because of some bitches. But who cares, baby? It's game time. Next week, let's go. I am out.